Metro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. So I am in Stafford. I'm going to head to the CX. We had some success in there recently, but I'm still determined to find a decent game that has the used section with 50% off. There's a game here, I think it's another one of them little ones stuck in the back of a bigger department store, but we've got to go and try, right? So let's take a look. Okay, so once again, that was a complete waste of time. I think you need the old standalone game stores that are getting rid of the old surplus stock of used goods. With Game abandoning used games, you're not going to find them, I don't think, in these newer ones at department stores. So yeah, probably missed the boat on that one. But thankfully, you know, being a part of the Ghetto Gang, there's always people out hunting, and I have had some people find me some games which we'll get to later on in this vlog when we do the parcel opening. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, but let's get to the CX and see what we can find. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since the Stafford trip. Very busy couple of days, but we will get to that shortly. Right, okay, so my little trip into Stafford itself, I didn't really come back with too much. The game, as we know by now, was never going to be successful in terms of half-price used games because you need the old school games, right? The standalone buildings, and I just wasn't able to get myself to one. However, thankfully, for me, a lot of the Ghetto Gang members did have local games by them, and oh man, some of them cleaned up, they really did, and they posted on the Discord, and a couple of them were so gracious to help out, which is what we do over on the Ghetto Gang. And there was one game in particular that I wanted for my collection, and that was Resident Evil 3. So this was half the price, so it says, what was it, 18, so that would have been £9. Which is quite a little bit cheaper than what CX is selling it for. I think CX is selling this for 15, and this is a remake of the 1999 original game. I've never actually played Resident Evil 3. My Resident Evil journey was the first one, the second one on the PlayStation 1, and then I think later on I played Resident Evil 4 on the Wii of all consoles. and I played the Resident Evil 2 remake on the PS4 when that came out. So that's it. That's as much as my Resident Evil journey has led me to. So really looking forward to this one, which is why I asked him to grab it for me. And as it says on here, there is a note. Hi Callum, hope all's good. There's only certain bits I can read out, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm not sure I should be acting like an enabler for the Discord, but here we are. Thanks for the work on the channel. You got me right back into physical collecting after so many years out of the game. I'm loving my new hobby of hunting charity shops. Sometimes bring the eldest who is building a keyring collection. Oh, fantastic. Although she has lost most of them across the house already. Keep it retro, or ghetto, or both, or neither. Ben. Shout out to Ben, aka Uncle Ben, on the Discord. And the reason that this is already opened is, yeah, as he alluded to in there, and there was something else he picked up for me. I've been buying a lot of games over the last few weeks. I've been mentioning it on the channel. I've been saying, oh, that's for a future video, Well, that future video is coming this Wednesday, so don't miss that. I've got a new collection, started a new collection, and I've been very busy buying games for it. So yeah, that'll all be coming on Wednesday. But again, massive shout out to Ben for helping me out with that. Couldn't get to a game store myself, but thankfully I had the Ghetto Gang behind me that were able to help. And then went to CX, right? And I did pick up one game. I tried to buy 2 games. You probably saw in the footage, I picked up Grid Autosport, just an arcade race that I don't already own on the 360. I'm going for the full set of them. But by the time I got to the till, for some reason they said they didn't have the disc, so it was one of them. So yeah, left without that. But I did pick up Killzone 2 Essentials. I do already own this, but mine, I believe, is very faded. I've not even checked, but I'm pretty sure it is. You'll be seeing it on screen now. So that's why I picked this up for just £1, right? Couldn't really go wrong. So yeah, it's nice to have a nice, proper red spine version of that. And that was pretty much all I came back from Stafford with. So did I say not the most lucrative of hunts I've ever been on, but we've got some good stuff that we're going to get into right here. So where shall we start? This was an eBay purchase. Yep. So I was having a conversation with somebody about this album the other day, and it came to my attention that I've never owned it. It's one of them I always thought I'd find in the charity shop, but I've never quite managed to do so. And that's Jay-Z and Kanye's Watch the Throne. So happy to have that. I think that was like £3 on Music Magpie or something. So yeah, decent addition to the hip hop collection. And then what have we got? Where should we go next? I think what we'll do is open this one. We've got the big one here. So we'll get into the big one, shall we? I think I know what this is. Yes, I do know what this is. Right, okay. This is an order I've been waiting a long time for. So this has come from Ghetto Gang members Connor and Smallsy. Shout out to them, great guys. They found a very bizarre, I don't know how they managed to do it. I don't know how half the Ghetto Gang members find what they find. This was a website from South Africa of all places. Now South Africa is PAL. I didn't even know that. I knew that Australia was a PAL territory, but I didn't know South Africa was as well. And it seems that they got a few PS3 essentials that we didn't get over here. Certainly are easier to find there. So, after a long wait, we have got some PS3 essentials that I ordered quite a while ago. But as it says here, there's a note. So let's get into this. Hi Callum, there's a note. Finally, the long-awaited red spines have arrived. Enjoy, my friend. Just want to say a huge thank you for welcoming me into the Ghetto Gang. Ever since I joined, you've all been so welcoming and supportive of my collecting, even to the point of bankrupting me at times. Yeah, I know that feeling. I feel like I have made so many friends in such a short amount of time. The gang and yourself are such a great bunch, and I'm grateful to be part of such a great community. It means a lot. Your videos have now become part of my weekly routine and honestly are one of the highlights of my week. I won't get too soppy, but just know I appreciate you, man. Thanks again for having me in the gang. Enjoy the red spines, Nathan, aka Smallsy. What a legend, man. I really appreciate that. I love reading things like that. It also says there's a second note. So should we have a look at that then before we get into these games? So this one's from Connor. Callum, thanks for being so patient with this one. I know I wasn't. All the way from South Africa. Enjoy. Play your games. Keep it retro, Connor. Right, okay, so let's just get into the games then, shall we? So yeah, there's 2 games. What's the third game in here? Okay, so a couple of the games in here are going to be on the Wednesday's video that I've before mentioned, so we'll get to that later. Feels like it's not light enough in here. Lights are on, right? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the couple of games that are still sat in here, we're going to wait until Wednesday's video. Oh, yes! Now you're talking. That's going to take some beating, right? Yeah, man. Thanks for that, lads. They know me well. Okay, so the PS3 essentials that we got all the way from South Africa are Virtual Fighter 5. I know quite a few of the Ghetto Gang ordered a copy of this. Just not the easiest one to find in the UK. One that I've just never seen until now, Motorstorm Apocalypse. It's really, really nice. Not only is it nice to be 2 steps closer to the journey, you can see there it's got 400 Rand and 250 Rand, I think it's Rand in South Africa. But also to have them in my possession, because I'm at a point now where I need just 4 more. I only need 4 more PS3 essentials. But there's about 30 or 40 that I don't have in my possession because they're in Poland and Switzerland. So it's horrible, right? I just want them all. I want all the games that I've paid for, and they should be coming very, very soon. And then we'll be just 4 away in terms of what I physically own. And yeah, that's a nice couple of editions. So massive shout out to both of you gentlemen for that. Much, much appreciated. And as I say, we'll get to these on Wednesday's episode. Okay, what's next? What's next? I think we'll save that one. Okay, so this is a gift. We've got a gift. Let's have a look. Okay, hi Callum. Hope this more obscure essential title will help bolster up your giveaway and give it to the hands of another collector who will appreciate it more than myself. Keep up the great work with the videos. Can't be easy keeping up with 2 uploads per week and a young family. Definitely not. You have definitely helped create a UK presence in a scene that was US dominated and inspired others such as myself to get into the niche of this genre of content. Very kind of you to say that, my friend. I've been on and off YouTube for the last 15 years and I've gained a bit of a following, so keep up the amazing work and continue to inspire others. Many thanks, Martin, aka Tech Tucker on YouTube and Instagram. I'll post a link for Martin's channel below. Much appreciated, my friend. He reached out and he said, I found this in the CX, have you got it? I said, I've already got it. But for £1.50, do not leave that behind, because this is quite an uncommon one. I've only ever seen my copy of this. So yeah, I said to him, don't leave it behind, and he very kindly picked it up and sent it to me, and this will be getting as part of a giveaway. It'll probably be when I complete the set now. I'll probably do like a dedicated video to my full PS3 Essentials journey. I've not documented everything. I've kept some stuff behind that I'm going to use for that sort of like completion episode and the full story of everything. And I'll do a big giveaway of all my remaining PS3 Essentials when that time comes. So yeah, massive shout out to you, my friend. I really appreciate sending that across. And this next one, wow, I almost forgot about this. This has come from Limited Run, and I don't order many games with Limited Run and those kind of companies just because when I order something, I want it now, and it has to be something really special. I have to really want it. To be prepared to wait months for it to come. But this is one of them games that took forever to come. But I had to have it. My friends Dylan, Hyper Trigger X, and Eddie Rollercore, they both picked this up from Play Asia. I probably spent a little bit more on this and waited about 6 months longer to get it, simply because I didn't want the Japanese writing on the side. I don't know, I'm weird like that. I like it to all be in English on my Switch games. And that game is Devil Engine, the Complete Edition. Published by Poppyworks, this 2019 side-scrolling shmup is heavily influenced by the shmups of the 32-bit era. As you've seen on screen now, absolutely stunning pixel art, which is why I wanted this game so badly. From what I understand, a beautiful game, a good game, but a very difficult game. And when I've got people like Eddie Rollercore telling me it's difficult, I know it's difficult. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be competent enough to get through very far in this game at all. But I'll definitely have fun trying because yeah, I love my shmups, and this just looks like one of them shmups graphically that I really enjoy. So really happy to be adding Devil Engine, the Complete Edition, to my collection. And yeah, it's not very often I order limited run games. And that's it. So yeah, nice start to the week. I say start to the week. I've already been very busy. We're going to do something I don't very often do now. We're going to go back in time. I'm going to show you what I've been doing over the last few days to get us caught up to where I'm at now. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so whilst the sun is shining, we're making hay. Today is Operation Get the Ghetto Gym up to scratch. So hedge has been trimmed. Now we're going to get the jet washer on. We're going to blast it out, try and get rid of these weeds, put some weed killer down, and just basically spray all the tiles. I know a lot of the paint's going to come off. We're going to repaint everything and then seal it and then get some new equipment and everything. But before we can do any of that, let's get everything clean. Okay, that's the jet washing done. And it's one of them where you got to trust the process, right? It kind of looks worse than it did before. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now. So should be time to get the weed killer down. And eager to get on with the next steps of getting this sorted out. So yeah, I am about to go and record what you guys hopefully will have seen on Wednesday, which is my 10 game joint finding the wild video. As soon as I've done that, I'm going to get changed and I'm going to get out here and we're going to get all the weed killer down. And yeah, I'm real eager to crack on with this, so let's go. Right, that's that done. Now we wait again. Okay, so been a couple of days since the weed killer went down. What I've done is I've pushed all the gym equipment to this side, and the plan is to put the filler into all the gaps. Apparently you're supposed to do it when it's wet, so after we just have a downpour, it seems like the perfect time. So I'm going to do pretty much to this line, and then give it time to set, dry, and then we'll move everything across and do the other side of it. So. Right, apparently once you open the bag, you've only got an hour to get it done, so let's do it. Okay, and we are now up to date, back in real time, and yeah, this is where we're at. So I don't know if it came across on the montage, but as soon as I started, the heavens opened. The rain was torrential. It says to do it with wet tiles, but I don't know if that was too wet. But looking at it, I think it's job done. So after a hell of a lot of brushing, all of the gaps, all the cracks, everything has been filled with the Seeker Fast Fix. And the joy of this was I don't have to worry too much about what it looked like. It's just a case of getting the job done, because this is all going to get painted anyway, so it didn't really matter. And there's quite a bit of surface stuff still, but don't really mind that. This will all get brushed and cleaned before we paint, and any that does stick, we'll just add to a bit of texture for grip anyway. But we won't paint it yet. I'm going to wait until the weather really changes, fingers crossed. I want a real couple of hard, heavy sun days, right? I want it to be bone dry, hopefully later on in the summer, and then we can get some paint down and paint the walls and fences and basically give it all a new lease of life and get that new equipment I've been talking about. If I sound out of breath, I've just finished chest day. I'm now going to go and eat, and then we're going to crack on with the jobs in here. We need to get the 360 area done, so that's where we're going to start. Okay, so a quick recap on where we are from last week's vlog. Basically, I've run out of space in the 360 area, so I've had to double stack. Now, in order to achieve this second stack, what I did was just temporarily fill it with old duplicate games and stuff behind there. And the games on the sides are actually the perfect height, as you can see, to double stack. I'm going to try and get a more permanent solution, because some of them games actually need access to, so we're going to get them out and replace them. I have had a tip as well. Somebody in the comment section suggested potentially using VHS, which if that works, that'll be fantastic, because I can't bring myself to get rid of these VHS, but equally I don't need them on display. So if we can use VHS, that would be absolutely perfect, because we've also got to do this side. This side's a little bit more complicated because of this dead area here. So we need to not only stack the back, we also need to pad this bit out so that the games won't fall that way once they're on display. So yeah, it's about getting the groundwork done, so to speak, getting everything set up so that I can then rearrange the whole Xbox 360 collection, as well as integrate a load of new titles that are over there in Purgatory. So loads to do, let's crack on. Okay, so I think I found a system that works. So basically what I've done is put in 2 or 3 VHS, and they were a little bit too short. So when I stood a game up, too much of a gap at the top. But then with one game laid down, these are just duplicates or classics, which I'm not currently displaying. It's about bang on. So that I think will work. Easy, no messing about. So now all I need to do is just bridge this gap here, and then repeat this over here, and then we can crack on and get the games in. Okay, so whilst it might look janky as all hell, I'm pretty proud of this. I think this is going to work perfectly. I've staggered VHS in like a zigzag format so that you get nice balance. As I say, I found the perfect height with laying just a flat DVD shape or game case on top. With this, I was struggling to get it right because obviously it all has to be continually flat in order for each individual game to stand up, and I couldn't quite get the right length until I pulled out some DS games that I found in my sort of spares drawer. And yeah, it's now made that row perfect, so the games will sit on there. I've put a couple of VHS in here, so that will stop the games from moving that way. So, like I say, whilst it might not look great without the games there, once the games are in, I think that's very much going to be job done. So, yeah, now the fun bit, right? We've got to start getting all the games put in. I mean, look at that. It's a lot of games. And we've also got to integrate all the new 360 games, which in part, you know, inspired this 360 area revamp, because I just keep adding so many fantastic 360 games to the collection. But, yeah, I think there's nothing left to do now but get all the games in. Okay, so theoretically, those top tiers are done. Obviously, there's going to be a knock-on effect. Everything's going to have to be slightly raised up, or what I'll do is I'll leave gaps in certain sections to make it easier for me putting games away going forward. But what I've realised is that I can just fill this gap. It looks darker on camera than reality. But what I'm thinking is, rather than sort of like working on the basis of that being the angle, which it isn't, I'm more often here. So whilst I'd obviously leave these ones here, I think I could just work to the end. I can easily reach in. So I think I'll take them out, lay that bit flat, and then just start the games right from in that corner. That way I don't get this unsightly sort of ugly gap and DVDs and VHS propping that section up as well. And it's even more room going forwards. And like I say, it covers all angles, right? All views will then be Xbox goodness, and creates more and more space for me to keep adding to this fantastic library of games. So I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I've done that, as you can see. And like I say, it just gives me the angles, right? Now I can just see games all the way along, nothing unsightly. So yeah, pretty happy with that. And you may notice I've switched over some big collector's editions. So Darksiders, I've just had to move here because it's not as wide, or not as much depth, sorry. So it doesn't sort of protrude too much here, so it doesn't look odd. Because I wanted to make more of the Mortal Kombat. This is a very nice, quite a rare actually, collector's edition for the 360. But it's been lowly on the bottom shelf because of the size of it. But now, I think it can sit up top. And it does protrude a little bit, but not enough that it really bothers me. You'd have to come and stand here, and the centimetre or so that it's over really doesn't bother me at all. So, I think that looks pretty good. And it's all about displaying things, right? And I really wanted to make better use of the Mortal Kombat collector's edition, and it's either here or back down on the bottom where you can't really see it. So I'm pretty happy with that, but I'm really enjoying this. I'm having a great time. It's getting very late at night, but this is what I love to do. I love arranging the things I love, I guess. And yeah, I'm going to crack on. Hopefully we'll get it done tonight, but we'll definitely get it done on this vlog, that's for sure.
Ghetto.
Good morning, and an early start after what was a late night spent arranging Xbox 360 games. Didn't quite get that finished. We'll crack on with that later on, but I've headed to the other side of the West Midlands. I'm here in Dudley. I've never hunted Dudley before, so I figured it'd be something new. We're in the little town centre now. I'm heading to the CEX. I've already hit a couple of charity shops with no success. There's some amazing shops in this part of the country, right? And I've had a tip about one in particular that's got some games in, so that's what's brought me here. I'm very excited, but yeah man, let's go see what we can find today. Okay, it was a decent start. Quite a nice CX actually, quite big, good stock. Yeah, nicely laid out shop. Definitely recommend it. I did pick up one game, but it's for my collection that you guys will see on Wednesday. So yeah, we're showing that one today. But yeah, a couple more charity shops in here, and then we're going to hit up the first of the shops in this area. Okay, so I've made it to Get Gaming in Dudley. As you can see, I'm very eager. I'm actually here before it opens, only about a few minutes, so not got too long to wait. And like I said, I've got a tip-off about some fantastic games in here, and it won't be hard to guess, judging by my face and my excitement. These are Super Nintendo games, some very rare, heavy-hitting cardboard. So I'm hoping there's some deals to be done today, and yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out a video game shop that I've never been to before. Wow, have you ever seen that much heavy hitting Super Nintendo cardboard in one place? I don't think I have. And I left with an absolute banger as well. I had to, right? I had to. So, yeah, delighted with that. Picked up quite a few games. Obviously, I'll show you when we get back. You know the drill. Okay, back in the 3.0. I did actually venture to a couple more shops whilst I was in that part of the country, but I'm going to save that for a future video. However, I've got some great stuff to look at. Not only what I picked up on the footage that you've just seen, but also the postman's bin. And yeah, I really wanted to share this with you guys because I think this is an absolute bargain. So this is currently on Amazon, and that is Broforce, the deluxe edition. Broforce is a side-scrolling run-and-gun platformer developed by Free Lives, and it found its way onto the PS4 in 2016. You play as a bro, so it's based on pop culture action movie icons, and just looking at the box art on here, I can see Terminator, Rambo, Bruce Lee, Mr. T, Blade, so many others. I think there's tens and tens, if not hundreds, of different pop culture references throughout this game, and from what I understand, it's a very good time. Apparently it's really fun playing multiplayer. But this is the deluxe edition, and it's currently cheaper than the standard edition on Amazon. So this is just £23, and you'll be seeing on screen now. Absolutely stunning, this box, and it also comes with a really nice comic book. So yeah, just really wanted to highlight this one because not only does the game look fun, it's a game that I've always wanted to play. This bit of Nintendo cardboard right here, I think it's, yeah, absolutely beautiful artwork. The comic book looks fantastic as well, and I mean, for that price, I don't think you can go too far wrong with a special edition. You might actually remember I picked this up on a vlog. Last time I went to Leicester, I think, I went into the local game with Kev, and I picked this off the shelves, and I filmed it just because I thought, wow, how good looking it was, and it was like £45, so I wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger then, but for £23, yeah, I did check this morning, and it's still in stock at Amazon. You can still get it for £23, so if you're interested, check it out for sure. So yeah, that's that, but let's talk about the trip. So, Get Gaming, a shop in Dudley that I'd never been to before. I went to the Dudley CEX, was really impressed with that, picked up a game that you'll see on Wednesday. But Get Gaming, not a massive shop, but full of quality, and like I say, I'd had a tip that there's some fantastic stuff in, and that's an understatement, but we'll get to all that in a minute. The first game I want to show you is not necessarily something fantastic, but I have a saying on this channel: if you can find a completely boxed Super Nintendo game that you don't already own for £10 or less, you buy it, and that's what I did here. So this is Virtual Soccer, or J-League Super Soccer as it's known in Japan. In Japan you played with the J-League club teams, but here in the West you play with international teams. It's a 1994 Hudson Soft football game, and one of the interesting elements of this one is that you can choose the perspective. So you can play sort of like a left to right, like a modern day football game, or you can also play top down view, a bit more like a sensible soccer, or how a lot of the football games were of that era. Also, you can control the wind and each player's velocity. I don't know what velocity is, but yeah, you can play that. You can adjust that, sorry, and like I say, I wasn't 100% sure. I was about probably 80% sure I didn't already own this one. So many random generic football and sports games, I don't remember them all, but thankfully I came home, checked my games. I don't already own this one. So another game ticked off the full set for £10. Yeah, very, very happy to have found that tucked away in a corner at Get Gaming. So yeah, that's that. There was, oh, I'm dropping the cartridge. Once again, there was another game that I picked up, which once again you'll see on Wednesday. But let's talk about some of those games, right? That tip-off that I had, I've never seen Nintendo cardboard like that in person. Some of the highest of high-end games. So games like The Fireman, Wolfenstein 3D, just games that you just never see in person. And not only that, mint. And I think that was to my detriment, because I know I'm going to have to buy these heavy hitters one day. And had I gone there and it was a bit battered, my kind of, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, the price would be accordingly. I'd have to fork out, but I'd be happy to pay it because it would be a good price, right, in my opinion, for those games. Because they were mint, obviously they had mint prices. Now, there's definitely a market out there for mint collectors, and if that's for you, get in contact with Get Gaming. There'll be links below to the Instagram and the Facebook page, because you just do not see Super Nintendo cardboard of that ilk. Never. So yeah, it wasn't for me. I haven't got deep enough pockets to be buying those games. But I had to come away with a nice game, right? I was determined to leave with a nice Super Nintendo game that you never really see. And I don't think I've seen this one in person. And that is Populous 2. So to give it its full title, Populous 2 Trials of the Olympian Gods is originally a 1991 strategy game which got ported to the Super Nintendo in 1994. Known commonly as a god game. You guide your people into battle against followers of an enemy god. Populous, the original game which I own, references its gods, but not to any real degree, whereas Populous 2 goes, all in. This is firmly set under the backdrop of Greek mythology, and if you know me, you know I love Greek mythology. My body is covered in Greek mythology tattoos. It's something that I have a real passion and interest in, whether it be movies, video games, whatever it may be. I love the whole Greek mythology thing, and this was a game that I sort of had to have, right? In this game, you play as a demigod, so you are one of Zeus's many half-god sons, and you battle one Greek deity at a time before finally facing off against your father Zeus, who will let you join him on the Pantheon if you can win all of your battles. And I was looking at this, and this game actually got excellent reviews at the time. So all the reviews that I saw, which was like 5 or 6, they were all sort of like high 80s, early 90s out of 100. So yeah, a game that was very well received at the time. I think it's probably more common on the Mega Drive. You just do not see the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, for some reason, quite an uncommon one. I mean, you see Populous all the time, but just absolutely delighted to have it. Fantastic artwork, and as you would expect from the quality of the collection that this came from, it's in very, very nice condition, and I was determined to come away with a nice piece of Super Nintendo cardboard, and I was able to do so. So very, very happy with that. And make sure you go and check out Get Gaming if you're ever in that sort of like West Midlands, Dudley area. I've now firmly added that to my route, so when I go to those shops that I love to frequent down that way, Get Gaming is definitely now going to be a part of that, because yeah, the owner's a great guy. I had a cup of tea with him, had a great chat, and yeah, highly recommend going if you're ever in that area. So a very successful trip, which we'll get to more of in future videos, but let's turn our attention back to this Xbox 360 area, shall we? Because I absolutely love how it's looking right now, but we need to get it finished. Also, I forgot to mention the pricing. I know people like to know what I paid. He had this listed for £150, which if you look on eBay is not a bad price at all. You see them without the manual for that price. I did trade some bits in, we did a bit of a negotiation, so I pretty much got this for about 100 quid, so yeah, very happy with that. Okay, so I can't remember exactly what you guys have seen, what I've shown on the vlog thus far, but I've got to say I'm absolutely delighted with where we're at so far, but it still needs tweaking quite a bit. So I'm not 100% sure about the positioning of Mortal Kombat. I don't know if I might try that on this side. And it's a lot of sort of arranging collector's editions, because I don't want them to be sort of like 2 in a row like this. I don't want Borderlands directly underneath BioShock. Also, I've got all the Pro Evos together, but now I've got space, so I just put the Pro Evos in the P section, which would then mean, moving the whole thing around again. There's loads of sleeve covers, steel books, that kind of thing. I don't know whether to put all those on one shelf. Now I've got more space, there's a lot more options. I also have the potential to put Xbox One back in here, so this would become an Xbox section, because I will have the space. I'm going to have loads of space in here, thankfully, now. But yeah, I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to crack on, and I'll show you guys when we're a bit closer to completion. Okay, so about another 40 minutes of rearranging. The 360 area is done. Now, I've been speaking recently how I've got to make more space in here, and you would think, normally, logically, making more space comes at a detriment to the aesthetic, to how things look. You're kind of making changes that you're only making because you're out of space. I'm delighted to say that that couldn't be further from the truth than what I've been able to do with the 360 area. And when it comes to games rooms, I don't know, like YouTube content, whatever, man, you just got to get creative and yeah, think things through, and there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And with regards to the 360 area, it's never looked better. Like, I'm delighted with it. I'm so happy that I kind of was forced to make these changes, forced to double stack and now rearrange everything, because I'm looking at it now and honestly, whilst I have collections in here that mean more to me, that I'm more proud of amassing, I honestly think it displays better than anything, even than all these forward-facing SNES wall. I think because the 360 itself had so many fantastic, colourful games, so many variants, so many collector's editions, and when you take the time to display them, it just looks so good, so good. I don't know why people haven't been collecting 360 for years before it became popular in the last few months, right? Because I love everything about it. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so we'll start up here. So as you guys have already seen, now double stacked. Darksiders has been moved over to this corner just because it sits flush. I think we've already spoke about that. Now, one of the things I did change was Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat was previously here. But I don't know, it just looked quite off. I think having one set there and one set there, I don't know, it just didn't quite sit right with my eye. Some things you can't really explain, right? It's just how they look. And I just think it looks a lot better like this. And like I said as well, the games run right to the back. They're easily accessible, and there's no sort of unsightly gaps now, no matter where you stand in the room. Plus, it obviously generates more space for me in terms of the collection. Now, I put all the Pro Evo games, I went with alphabetical order, so there's a nice uniformity there of Pro Evos. The spines are a bit boring, but it's all good. There's so much colour and variation on these shelves anyway. But as a result of putting that there, I then subsequently had to move all the other collector's editions, because I don't want collector's editions directly underneath each other. I think they have to be sort of spaced apart, zigzagged if you like. So obviously you can see we've gone to Bioshock there, and then we move across. We finally got a home for Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which I am still playing. I'm partway through level 2, really enjoying it. It's a bit stop-start. It's one of them games that I just want to get my teeth into it, but it keeps sort of stopping to give me dialogue and cutscenes, and they're very small chapters. But apparently, from what the Ghetto Gang members have told me, it does open up a bit more as you progress through it. So yeah, really enjoying it. Those stunning graphics, and hopefully it's one I'll finish. I'm going to hopefully get some time to play it after I edit this vlog. And then this shelf is the sleeve covers and stuff. Borderlands 2, with that gap, it just seemed right to get the action figure next to the game. And yeah, so obviously, as I say, Saints Row had to move. We've then got the start of the steel books that have sleeves on, and then we've got bigger box stuff, steel books that don't have a sleeve, and then some more big box stuff, collector's editions. Street Fighter won't stay there because I don't want it directly underneath that collector's edition, but it just filled that gap too perfectly to not put it there for now. So yeah, Killzone won't stay there. That was a PlayStation exclusive, so that will come out. It's just sort of got nowhere else to sit at the moment. So let me know in the comments what you think, right? But I honestly couldn't be happier. I genuinely think it's my best looking set, and it was all, a lot of it was like more accident than design, because it's as you walk in, this is what you see. Now, some people might say put your best foot forward. You might want some nice retro collections, whether it be Mega Drive or Super Nintendo or some of my full sets or whatever it may be, but over time, the first set you see when you walk in has, like I keep saying, become probably what is my favourite collection to display. And I may have bought a couple more very nice pieces for this collection, which we'll get to in a video coming very, very soon. But let me know in the comments what you think, guys. But personally, I'm delighted with it. Look what Daddy's done with his 360 area. What do you think? I know what you're thinking. He looks better than ever. Yeah? He looks better than ever. Yay! Okay, so we've had a quick tidy up. Mini Ghetto's giving it his seal of approval. And yeah, I think the room is looking better than ever. Doing this has freed up a shelf, which I've put in here. Annoyingly, Billy bookcases, for some reason, they put the holes at the front, but there's two at the back. that are missing, so I'm gonna have to make my own hole. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this gap here. As you can see, it's a recipe for disaster having the Lego army here, because you have to sort of, the only narrow area in this room, and then if you come by, it's so easy to just catch it with your clothes, and then one falls off, and over time they all get knocked off. And so I'm thinking about potentially putting my Lego army up there. However, it would leave me with this quite strange gap here, which is why I'm hesitant to do it. So that's something that we'll look at down the line. And we've still, I keep saying it, still got all these amazing Nintendo toys. I've got to find a home for them. Yeah, I've just been so busy. Just not had a chance to do it yet. But I think it's been a successful week, right? With all that we did in the Ghetto Gym, which now seems like weeks ago already. And what we've done with this 360 area. Yeah, another good week in the books. And with the 3.0 looking at its best, I think that is a good time to say that is going to do it for this week's Ghetto vlog. If you've enjoyed this one, let me know via the like button. And I'm going to see you guys on Wednesday with a brand new collection, something I've been putting a lot of work into for the last few weeks. If you think you can guess what my new collection is, feel free to have a guess in the comment section below. Also, if you want to support myself and the channel going forwards, even more so, there will be a link below to support via the Ghetto Gang, where you get access to the exclusive Discord chat server as well. But as always, guys, it is much appreciated for everybody that's taken the time to watch this video. Have a fantastic week, and yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday. Play your games, keep it retro, in a bit.
Welcome to the Retro Ghetto!